Pocketing. Now in this video I'm going to show you the big secret to making your records sound just like the ones you hear on the radio, and how this will enable you to be a professional record producer in no time. Now you can turn any performance into perfect timing. Are you sick of your records just not having the sheen of your favorites on the radio? We utilize instrument pocketing correctly and you can be ensured that your record is an amazing performance every time. Now your clients will love you and work will come in quicker than ever before, making you more and more money. Now for this video I'm going to demonstrate drum pocketing. However, you can and should do this with all your instruments for a really top-notch effect. The techniques are quite different for different instruments though, and I'd appreciate if you kept this technique to yourself. Firstly, what is the pocket? Enough talk about this pocket, time for an explanation. The pocket is an area of time approximately 10 milliseconds long. This is the area where all the drum hits should be if they are to be in time. Now how does this affect us? What we're going to do is move every single note into the pocket manually, ensuring that the whole drum performance is brilliant. The notes we're going to move are the kick and snare. Now you must record to click track. It's incredibly vitally important. You're going to have to ensure that all your drums are recorded to a click track. This means the drummer is listening to a metronome whilst he is playing. Some drummers aren't too happy about this, so you may need to persuade them a little bit. Get them to rehearse to click first. Now make an audio track of your clicks so you can visibly see the metronome. It's quite easy to do this. Just route the click output into an audio input and record. Now step 1, I want you to group all of your tracks together. This is incredibly important. With drums we're going to be dealing with multi-track recordings. We must move all of them identically when we are moving one of them. This ensures the sound quality is kept as good as possible. Next, you need to get familiar with your keyboard shortcuts. There are a few that you must get used to in order to pocket drums. You're going to have to know how to fade in and fade out audio sections, crossfade audio sections, cut and move elements about, and time stretch. And also the keyboard shortcut to zoom in and zoom out is very useful. Find out the ones for your own particular workstation. You might have to have a look in the manual though. Now, you make sure you fade in and fade out the beginning and end of each audio section. And you really should get yourself in the habit of doing this anyway. It removes any clicks or pops or anything like that. Now next, just move the stuff into time. Simply cut up each individual drum here and move it into perfect timing. Right, you know the theory, so let's have a look at the practical application of this. We've got some dead time here. I'm going to get rid of this and perform a fade in. Now it is always good practice to get rid of dead time and to fade in, just to get a smooth transition and to avoid any clicks and pops. Now you'll notice that when I faded in one of these tracks, I faded in all of them. This is because I've set up a group in Pro Tools called the drum group. I did this by selecting tracks here and holding Ctrl G and then making an edit group called drums. Now you must find out in your digital audio workstation how to set up this particular kind of function. So if you move one of the tracks in your drums, you move all of them. The reason is multi-track drums must be moved every single mic in the same amount in order to preserve the phase coherency of the tracks. If you start moving one separately, then you're going to end up having a very strange sound. So make sure that you move them all together. You must find out how this works in your particular workstation. Now we can see this initial kick drum here. That is the first transient where the wave starts to move. What we're going to do is move this so that it's within this 10 millisecond window, somewhere about here. And now we move on to the next kick drum, and we can see this one here is slightly late. So we're going to zoom in and perform the split command here. This is Control and E. It's similar to a scissor tool in other workstations. Just simply puts a cut down all of the pieces of audio here and splits it into two. And now we're going to move this drum beat into this pocket, extend the file of audio back a little bit and perform a crossfade within these two pieces here. The crossfade should not overlap this beginning transient. It should come before there. Now I performed a crossfade in Pro Tools here merely by having the multi-tool and dragging across the junction in the bottom hand of the audio. Again, in your workstation you'll have to find out how to do this. This drum beat here, we can see, is coming slightly early. Again, we perform the edit, Control and E, and now we're going to move it back here. Now though, you can see we have a piece of silence. Now have a listen. We can obviously hear that, and it's not good. So we're going to have to fill this silence. And the way we're going to do that is to time stretch this piece of audio here. Now this piece of audio, we can see the kick channel contains a kick drum. We do not want to time stretch over this initial transient attack. The reason being, we will lose punch from the sound if we do this. So we're going to perform another cut edit about here. And now we're going to select our time stretch tool. Now in Pro Tools you can hold on here and drag down to here, or the quicker way is to press F6. This rotates this particular tool here. Now again, I strongly recommend you find out the key command on the keyboard, the shortcut, to be able to by hand, by the keyboard, change that tool to time compression. This will save you a lot of time. Now we're going to drag this piece of audio and time stretch it just over where this initial kick is here. And I'm going to now select our multi-tool again, which can be selected by pressing F6 once to rotate to the loop tool, and once again holding it down and pressing F7. Now we have our multi-tool selected. I'm to drag the audio back, and I'm going to again perform a fade, making sure not to fade over the initial transient. Now we have a snare drum. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Perfect. This kick here, yep, that needs to come back into our pocket. Stretch back, crossfade. And this one here now is coming slightly early. Perform our edit after the transient, similar to scissors tool. F6 once, F6 twice, we have our time stretch. Pull it back just over. Pull back, crossfade. And it really is as simple as that. Just go through your track editing every note into perfect timing. There are different techniques to be used for different instruments though, and when everything is pocketed you will have a great sounding track. Well guys, I certainly have enjoyed making this video for you, and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Now make sure you use these techniques to improve your productions immediately. I'll see you soon.